I let a stranger hide in my apartment, and I don't know if I regret it. This happened last year, and I still don't know if I made the right call. It was around 11 p.m., and I'd just gotten home from a late shift. I live in a small apartment in a not-so-great part of the city, so I'm always a little on edge when walking home. That night felt off. As I was unlocking my door, I noticed a guy standing at the end of the hallway. He wasn't doing anything, just standing there. But something about him made my stomach drop. I got inside, locked the door, and tried to shake it off. Not even 5 minutes later, someone knocked. Hard. I froze. It wasn't my neighbor. She texts before coming over. And I don't really have friends who drop by unannounced. Then, a voice. "Please, can you just let me in for a second?" It was a woman. She sounded out of breath, almost panicked. I looked through the peephole, and there she was, maybe mid-20ish, wide eyes, glancing down the hall like she was being followed. I know, stupid move, but I cracked the door open just a little and asked her what is going on. She whispered that there's a guy, he's been following her since she left the train. She didn't know where else to go from there. That's when I realized, the guy I saw earlier, my heart was racing, but I stepped aside and let her in. I locked the door immediately, turned off the lights, and we just stood there in the dark, listening. A few seconds later, heavy footsteps passed my door. Slow, like someone was looking for something. Then, nothing. She stayed for about 30 minutes, just sitting on my couch, shaking. I offered her water, and we barely talked. Eventually, she called a friend to come pick her up. When she left, she just said thank you and disappeared down the hall. I never saw her again. I don't know if she was telling the truth. Maybe she was genuinely in danger, but I think about that night all the time, and I can't decide if I did the right thing or if I got really, really lucky. This story highlights the psychology of risk versus empathy decision-making. In a potentially dangerous situation, the person had to quickly choose between self-protection and helping someone in distress. Letting the woman in reflects empathic response activation, when seeing fear in others triggers an instinct to help, even at personal risk. At the same time, the lingering doubt shows post-decision anxiety. After high-stakes choices, the brain replays scenarios. Was it real? Was I safe? A process linked to counterfactual thinking, imagining alternative outcomes to assess danger and learn for the future. It also demonstrates threat perception and intuition. The initial unease about the man in the hallway likely heightened alertness, making the situation feel more real and urgent. Humans are wired to pick up subtle environmental cues, even without clear evidence. Ultimately, the story reflects the tension between human kindness and self-preservation, and how, in uncertain situations, people often rely on instinct, empathy, and quick judgment, sometimes never fully knowing if they made the right choice.